It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
It is bright and early on a Friday morning recording today's episode of the podcast. It is the Sean Widmer Podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the show and the community. It means a lot. Again, it's very much appreciated. I've got to turn that off. Oh, that's a baby monitor. Man, it is. Okay, good. Never mind. It is just after 5 a.m. on a Friday morning. Today on the podcast, we are going to discuss just the rigors Lexington brings down on your body, the toll that it takes on your body. We're going to talk about that. An experiment that might have gone wrong, might have gone right. We'll get into that. And I do want to talk about something that's happening big time in the house with the kiddos, the goodbye, a major goodbye here at the Widmer house. And we will discuss that coming up today. I cannot believe there was a time in my life for 15 years that I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and went to work, because it is just after 5 o'clock on a Friday morning and I feel like a zombie. My alarm went off and I thought, what time is it? Now, on the other side, because I'm not waking up at 4 o'clock anymore, I'm no longer going to bed at 10 o'clock. So, there's a little bit of, I stayed up later than usual, so I didn't get as much sleep as I probably should have. But man, oh man, these early hours, to those of you who are up and at 'em and getting the job done, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Everyone who tells you get used to it is lying. You don't get used to it. This is coming from someone who did it. You don't get used to it. It stinks always. But man, it is it is early. It is a big week, right? It's a big week. Hoopfest is going on this weekend. I've got maximum excitement right now in my body for the people who are going to be participating in Hoopfest, my friends who I will be monitoring games of. Walter is playing. Scott, Kenny, Andrew are on a team together with Jordan. They're on a team together. My buddy Wes, I've got him I'm following. Some of my buddies' kids. Andy's daughter, Ryan's kid, Scott's kid, of course my sister's kids, Grace and Cash. I've got a bunch of people on the Hoopfest app that I'll be monitoring. Here's my plea: if you are in Spokane, you're someone who is at one of my buddies' games or a family member's game, can you film a little bit of it and send it to me? It's my favorite weekend. I believe I'm more excited right now about Hoopfest than people who are actually participating and going this weekend. I am still that level of excitement. I've talked about it a lot this week, just this week alone. But I spent, again, a ton of time yesterday plotting out, if I was in Spokane, the course I would take to watch everyone. Anyways, if you are at someone's event, someone's game that I would have been at this weekend, one, text me updates, please. I want my phone to be blowing up on Saturday. And if you can get video or pictures, I take all of them that I can get my mitts on. Thank you. I don't know what the weather is supposed to be like in, let's see. Don't know what the weather is supposed to be like this weekend in Spokane. It looks like it is in the 70s, upper 70s, and the 80s on Sunday. That is absolutely beautifully perfect weather for this. Yeah, that's going to be a wonderful weekend for Hoopfest. Here in Lexington, it has been insane. It's been insane. I actually had we had an outdoor event this week that we did on Wednesday, and it was in the 90s, upper 90s, humidity through the roof. But for some reason, the 90s in Spokane feel so different than the 90s in Lexington. I've been in the 90s in Spokane, and you look around and go, it's hot. It is hot. But it's like the fresh air or something. It just kind of keeps it where you're not dying. 95 to 100 here in Lexington feels like you're inside of an oven. And our event was all day, and it was like, holy smokes. We were on water. We were on Gatorade. I actually had some Pedialyte. I was just hammering liquids, and I got done with the event. And at the end of the day, I had that headache you get from the heat, just from being not. I mean, I guess dehydrated, but there's no way I could be dehydrated. The amount of liquid that was inside my body was insane. But the heat in Lexington hits you differently with this humidity. Anyways, all that to say, shout out to it does. I mentioned it takes a toll on your body. The heat in Lexington takes a toll on your body. And it also like makes it so when I get home and I'm with the kids and I think, let's go outside. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good not going on a walk, and we all are just dragging a minute into the walk because we're so hot and tired. Maybe that's just a Widmer problem. I wanted to let you guys know about an experiment that I did that I'm sure a lot of you have done. A lot of you have done. This is not a new thing by any stretch of the imagination, but I was excited about it. I was driving home from swim practice with the kids the other day. I had Huck. And so he and I were driving back from, or no, it wasn't swim practice. It was actually swimming on Saturday. We went swimming. I brought the boys home. And on the way home, Huck said the magic word. He said, Dad, can we get an ice cream? I have a hard time saying no to that request when he's in a good mood and he's been good. I have a really hard time with that. The McDonald's ice cream cones are like $1.50 or something. So I said, yeah, buddy, let's get you an ice cream cone. I regret it every time. My daughter can eat one. My son, when you hand him an ice cream cone, it's like he's forgotten how to use his hands, how to use his mouth. He's forgot all functional abilities that he has. And I'll look back in the rearview mirror, and not a minute into him having this ice cream cone, it is truly everywhere. Like he just threw it against the ceiling, rubbed it against the back seat, put it all over his face, just all over his car seat. I'm like, dude, just eat it. Like, what happened to you that you forgot how to eat the second I handed you that ice cream? But he's so happy. So I just continued to do it and try to clean up after him. But I was like, I'm going to get one. And then I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I haven't had a root beer float in forever. I'm going to make a root beer float at McDonald's. Very disappointed they don't have root beer at McDonald's. An insane moment of realization that McDonald's doesn't have root beer. What I would assume is an American staple. You have your colas. You have a clear drink like Sprite or 7-Up. You normally have a lemonade. I'm thinking about your fountain drinks. A lemonade. You probably have Dr. Pepper, and then you should have a root beer. There should be a root beer on tap. There's not at McDonald's. Well, I already had this root beer float on my mind, so I thought, well, I've got to do something. What's it going to be? Do I use a Coke? Do I use a Sprite or 7-Up, whatever they had? Well, I looked, and they had orange Fanta, which is great. I grew up in a foreign country. I grew up in Venezuela, so when it comes to fruit-styled sodas, there's nobody in this planet who understands them more than someone who grew up in Venezuela, where the main sodas are uva hit, manzana hit, piña hit. What other flavors did they have? It was just all the fruit flavors as a soda, and that was what we had. And manzana hit was one of my favorites. They had orange. So all of the fruit sodas I grew up on. So they're like embedded in my body as drinks that I like. So I saw orange Fanta, still ashamed that it wasn't root beer. And I thought I'm going to get a large orange Fanta. I'm going to get a cone, and I'm going to mix some and try to make a orange float. I don't know what happens or what happened with mine. I tried to mix the soft serve ice cream and the orange Fanta, and it just made a mess and did not work. And I don't know why that happened. So an experiment that I thought was going to be great, a nice float on a hot Saturday, sounded so good. And instead, I wasted an orange Fanta and I wasted an ice cream. Is there something that I'm doing wrong? Now, I will say maybe part of it, I got the orange Fanta. I didn't ask for no ice. I didn't even think about that. I don't know if that screwed it up, if the fact that I had ice in there screwed it up with the ice cream, the ice, and the orange Fanta. I just don't know if that soft serve doesn't go well with it. Maybe it was the combination of Fanta and ice cream. I will say a lot of it, instead of it just floating there like a root beer float where the ice cream kind of floats in there, it kind of congealed and got weirdly, I don't know, almost like a slushy, how a slushy is frozen, and when you drink the liquid, the icy part stays there. It kind of did that. And I was like, what happened? So I don't know what happened with my failed experiment. I thought it was going to be great, though. I need to find a fast food place that has root beer, because I've thought about it since then, and go through and try their ice cream with a root beer and see if that works. Maybe I'll do that later today. Maybe that will be my lunch treat to myself. A good healthy lunch of a root beer float. I did see a root beer store because I do love root beer. And I'm very passionate about what the best root beer is. I saw a post from the Takeout that said the best root beer brand is perfectly sweet and spicy. So I clicked it assuming to see A&W. A&W is the best root beer in America. I know there's a lot of y'all who love your old-fashioned root beer companies, and you get cute with it because they sell it in a bottle, and it's got a picture of an old man on it, and, oh, this is so great. Get out of town. Get out of town. I'm sorry, that's not the best root beer. It's not. It's just an expensive version that you want to think is cool. Barks is okay, but it's not great. My grandparents, Graham Dinah, always had Barks root beer for some reason. I'm assuming whatever company that is that Pepsi? Must have had sales at Rosars, and so she would just do, let's see, who makes Barks root beer? Barks root beer, because this is going to make sense. If they're Pepsi, then Graham was just going to wherever there was a Pepsi sale and getting cherry Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, and Barks root beer. Let's see here. Barks root beer is Coca-Cola Company. Interesting. That's a twist. So she was getting Diet Coke. What all does it? Let's see. Well, let's see here. Let's see what we got here. The other soft drinks category. What was Graham getting? She was getting Diet Coke. She was getting Barks root beer, and there had to be another one that they would do 12-pack deals on because Graham always had Barks, and I always wanted A&W, and I was just so bummed out that they were a Barks family. Anyhow, A&W is the best root beer. Don't at me. This thing said Stewart's root beer is the best root beer. I never even heard of it. Stewart's root beer. Where can I even buy Stewart's root beer? I get so sick of the internet getting cute. I get so sick of it. There's no reason. There's no reason to get cute. Okay, I can get it at... You can't be the best root beer when the only place I can get it that I see here in Lexington is Total Wine and More. You can't be the best root beer at that point. If you're not readily accessible in grocery stores, you aren't the best root beer. You're just a cute root beer that wants to be A&W. I have seen these. I'm clicking on their page. I've seen these bottles before. Stewart's. They've got Stewart's root beer. They've got Diet Stewart's root beer. They've got Stewart's birch beer, Stewart's orange and cream, and Stewart's cream soda. So they've got a line of them. Oh, they've got more than that even. They've got a grape. They've got a cherry, key lime. They've got they do have black cherry. They've got a good run of stuff, but there's no way Stewart's root beer is as good as A&W. It's just Have you ever seen a Stewart's root beer restaurant? No, you haven't. Anyhow, I need to find a place that sells root beer, sells ice cream, and make the mix. Can we get into Kelly's What Are You Into? Because I've got to celebrate good times. Come on. Then I probably have kids waking up.
Kelly's What Are You Into?
It seemed very loud today. It seemed very loud. You guys, we made it. The Widmer family made it. We have a 1-year-old. We have a 1-year-old in the house. As of tomorrow, Saturday, Woods turns 1. And I did something last night that I'm very excited about. Parents who are in the same or have been in the same world as me, you'll understand my excitement. Last night, I bought our very last thing of baby formula. Thank goodness. We can check that one off the list. It is a $200 to $250 raise that we just got in this house. Not having to buy baby formula anymore as Woods transitions into food and milk. If you have been in this situation, you understand my excitement to know that I'm not paying $51.99 for another canister of formula ever again in this house. We are done with that. The next step now, as we get looking forward to, our last ofs with a baby, the next one is diapers. And when I buy my last set of diapers for Woods, that's it. The Widmer house is done with diapers for kids, and I can't wait for that one to come off the books as well. Now, I guess we'll be done with diapers, and the next time I need to buy diapers, they'll be for me. So that's hopefully going to be a long time. I really hope that's going to be a while. But we're off the formula now. The next step is diapers, and those chunks of money that you throw at those baby wipes, we'll be done with that. Oh, all these little things that just, every time I look at the grocery list, I think, okay, that's about $30, $40 of groceries. And then I buy two things that put it up to $100. And they're always for Woods. And I'm like, brother, you cost more with two little things right there than the rest of the family costs to eat for the weekend or more. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What gives, brother? So we're halfway there. The two big ones, diapers and formula. We're done with one of them. I got to get the boy potty trained. That's just all I know. He's 1 year old. I think Huck got potty trained at 2.5 is when he really got potty trained. Olivia was maybe 3.5. Woods, 1.5. Let's be potty trained by Christmas. You can't walk yet. You don't even know how anything works. Let's get you potty trained by Christmas. Really step it up for mom and dad. Step it up for mom and dad. I'm very thankful for it, though. It's crazy to have, that part done. That is weird. I am not one of those people who says, you blink and it's over. I don't believe in that. Because Woods has been one for 1 year, but to me, it feels like 400 years. The amount of things that have happened in this last year of Woods' life, in the first year of Woods' life, is insane. And I get, don't blink. It's cute. I think eventually you feel that when all the kids are out of the house, you're like, that went by so fast. As someone who's in it right now, when you tell me, oh, remember when Woods couldn't move? I think that was so long ago that he couldn't move, that he just laid there and couldn't even roll over. That was forever ago. The amount of things we have done as a family that I've done personally, the amount of things that have happened, the amount of gray hairs I've gotten since Wood was immobile is an eternity ago. So I'm not a believer in this whole, you blink and it's over. A year feels like a year. That with Huck, of his first year of life, I think was 30 years long. It was the longest year of my life, Huck's first year alive. So, to all the cute posts on Instagram and TikTok of, my kid is 12 and you just blink and the whole thing is gone. Bullcrap. I'm in it right now. Your kid is 12, so you're looking back and doing this whole nostalgia thing. As someone who has a 1-year-old, it takes a full year to get there. It takes a full year. As someone who has a 4-year-old who is a 5-year-old, who is a very rebellious and very difficult, 4 to 5, we're only halfway through 4 to 5, and it feels like 3 years. Every single night putting Olivia to bed feels like 10 years. Come off your life. It's 40 minutes from the time she's supposed to go to bed through the fight to go to bed, through the kicking, through the punching, through the name calling, through the throwing the pillow, through the slamming of a door, to her sounding like she punched through the drywall. That 40-minute span between trying to get her to go to sleep and her actually falling asleep is 10 years long. You can't blink through that. You can't do it. So, keep posting, moms who want the clicks, dads who want the likes. Keep on posting your cute little memory videos. But as someone who's in it, you're not in it anymore. It does take a long time. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Guys, we got to do some comments. Are there some comments? We need to see what we got here. Don't blink. Oh, you blink and it's done. No, you don't. No, you don't. I find myself blinking a lot, praying that that's true. And it never is, guys. It never is. Nothing goes faster. Time is undefeated. It goes the same time. It's the same speed all the time. Doesn't matter. Okay. Was that uplifting? Yeah. Yvonne said this in regards to the candies. Shout out Circus Peanuts. A lot of people said, I got a lot of messages saying that I was saying circus penis. I was not. I know the difference between circus penis and circus peanuts. And it's obvious. I wasn't even trying to make a joke. It was real. Okay. Yvonne says, love all the candies you mentioned, including Tootsie Rolls. Ugh. Circus Peanuts are great. Got some at North 40 in Post Falls. Was with Zoe. Happy birthday to Woods this week. Can't believe he has won already. I know. Yvonne, don't blink. You'll miss it. No, you won't. No, you freaking won't. You will not miss it. It happens. All the blowouts happen. The meltdowns, when you're out happen. The meltdown the other night where Woods was out with Anna and me, we went to visit her dad, and Woods cried for an hour and a half straight, and it felt like 5 years. That happened. And it happened forever. So, okay. Thank you, Yvonne, for the comment. I got to get off of the rip on Woods my kids taking forever to grow up. I love them to death. I just always find it funny when I see you're going to blink and it's gone. And there's moments where I blink a lot and nothing happens. Roberta says this over on YouTube. She said, ooh, love the book. I have not read a lot of it yet. Dragon Delves. It's a beautiful looking D&D book. I was talking to one of our techs at work. He is so excited. His son is playing the first time ever. I wished him well. I hope they loved their first session of Dungeons and Dragons. I had Olivia tell me the other day, she's excited to grow up because she wants to play Dungeons and Dragons with me. And I said, my girl, and I threw teary eyes. I said, I will be there for you. On that day, I will be there for you. Roberta went on to say, we had a dog who hated those little stoppers for the door. She chewed them off the wall. So yes, those discs are murderous. My toe is still in a state of flux. Roberta says, there are reasons why, if I had an early flight, I'd drive to the airport while hoping that Mark will wake up enough to be able to make the ride home. Hope you finish those books in 2 minutes. That's funny. Yeah, the amount of thoughts for you morning people. Whew, for those of us who aren't diehard morning people. Whew, man. Roberta also said this, and I very much appreciate. Over on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and comment there on stuff. I was asking about Mickey Mouse pancakes because I have a hard time flipping them and keeping the ears intact. The secret to Mickey pancakes, smaller is better. Pour the face first, then the ears very quickly, overlapping the batter into the face. Let it get good and bubbly, almost to the point of dryness. Well, cooked but not burnt, before flipping. The more batter is cooked before flipping, the better cohesive the pancake. A wide spatula is also very helpful. Roberta, thank you for the tips. I think I'm going to get into the market of just get on eBay. I'm going to get on eBay. I'll do it right now and order a wide spatula. I'm realizing I'm going to make enough Mickey pancakes the next 7-8 years of my life. It's an investment worth having, and it's probably a $7 investment. Let's look. Hey, guys, let's do this together. I feel like I've been super negative today. I actually, as I was walking into this room to record this morning, I reminded myself, I must have known it was coming. I said, stay positive. The podcast needs to be positive. It's one of the things I really wanted to have happen. Oh, hang on. Why is that not working? Is that working? Okay. I want the positive to be podcast, or I want the podcast to be positive. I want it to be uplifting. I want it to bring joy to people. And I feel like I get negative a lot, and I start to rail on things and get mad at things, and it's super annoying. And I did that. I told myself today, be positive. And then what did I do? I ripped on time. Me versus time. Wide spatula. Googling right now on Google. Oh, $10. $10 wide spatula. These should just say Mickey Mouse spatulas. They look great for this. Thank you, Roberta. All right, I've got a silicone spatula, heat-resistant pancake spatulas for non-stick cookware pan. I got one of those coming tomorrow. Thank you, Roberta, for that. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Was there something? I feel like there was something else I missed. I feel like I missed a comment. Someone else commented because there was a name or two that I needed to give shout out for. Hang on, was it here? Miguel. There it is. My guy Miguel. Love you, Miguel. Miss you, friend. He said, dude, I've recently had those moments with my kid. Last weekend, I got a couple new pieces of furniture for his room, and he wanted to help. I allowed him. However, I started getting frustrated because he was taking too long. Then at that moment, "You're gonna miss this" came on and allowed me to take a deep breath and enjoy the moment. Now when I feel frustrated or impatient again, I go back to that moment and that song. It definitely helps reset my emotions. Miguel, why is it so hard? I mean, you just heard me rip again on that whole situation. Apparently, I've got some deep-rooted issues with this I need to address. Miguel, will you be my therapist? I'm going to call you later, and we will catch up on life, and you can therapy me. Sounded weird. Gotta go. Thanks for listening to your favorite 15-minute podcast.